Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. I normally don't do these type of impromptu live streams, but man, I'm still in shock. The news of Kobe not being here with us anymore. Yesterday, I was hanging out with Deion Sanders, Hall of Fame cornerback, NFL Hall of Fame cornerback. He and I have partnered up to start this 7-on-7 football program here in our town that we live in. And he and I were in the car together getting ready to go out to the facility where we're going to be watching these kids practice. And we got the news that Kobe, along with his daughter and 7 other people, had fatally died in a helicopter accident. And at first, he and I were like, no, that can't be true, And then as we continued to listen to the news, it was true. And guys, like I said, I'm just, man, I had to talk to somebody because the news is it's shocking. For someone like that who, whether you're a sports fan or not, you have to admire the impact that Kobe made on the game of basketball. The impact he just made on our society. Don't get me wrong, we all have our ups and our downs, but every now and then you'll have people who just transcend their sport or their profession, and they become more than just an athlete. They become a symbol of hope and a symbol of anything can happen if you work hard and you put your mind to it. And for me, watching Kobe from a 17-year-old high school kid to go into the NBA at 17 years old, and then the career he has had, and the ups and downs through that career to become the human being he had become, was just tremendous, man. So I just want to, I just wanted to get on here this morning and talk with you guys and see how you guys are feeling. It's good therapy for me. I admired him so much just because of the man and father he was. Obviously, he was a one-in-a-lifetime athlete, but we know that. But what I really admired about him was how he handled adversity and how he changed his life, how the type of father he was near and dear to my heart because I'm a father. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I can't even imagine something like that happening to my 12-year-old daughter or any of my daughters or any of the people in my life that I love. And for him to be gone and his daughter gone, my heart goes out to his family. My heart goes out to the other 7 victims of this tragic accident. My heart goes out to their families as well, because although Kobe was an icon and that's the one everybody's talking about on the news, let's not forget there were other folk on that, good people on that helicopter as well. So we got to make sure we keep them in our prayers and our thoughts and in our prayers. But it also makes me think about life in general, guys. On my channel, I talk a lot about financial freedom and not letting fear hold you back, not letting other people hold you back, not letting whatever circumstances you came out of hold you back. If you look at Kobe, man, he embodies all of that. He could have easily, at 17 years old, got into the NBA and succumbed to all the pressures that type of lifestyle and that type of platform provides you. He could have easily succumbed to that as a 17-year-old. But I think everybody you talk to will tell you, and at least all the reports I've seen, and like I said, my good buddy Deion Sanders, who he knew Kobe. And you know, Deion can certainly identify because he was one of those transcending players as well. He changed the game of football from a defensive standpoint as a cornerback. This guy is probably the greatest cornerback to ever play in the NFL. So being in the car with him and hearing that together and getting his input on how he felt about Kobe and his experiences with Kobe it was priceless for me. It gave me an insight to that level of production, that level of expertise, that level of accomplishment that I know nothing about, but he does. So it helped me understand a little bit more about who Kobe was. But back to what I was saying, guys, we have to make sure we live every day like it's our last day. We have to not allow the pressures of this world to keep us from being the best we can be. And I think that's one thing I really admired about Kobe. He never allowed any of those circumstances to hold him back from reaching his full potential as an athlete. And although at 41 years old, he was taken from this earth, he was certainly getting ready to take things to another level as a business person. And I was also looking forward to that because he had put together a dream team of business people around him, and he was ready to take it to the next level. So for us, let's take it to the next level, guys. We got, this week, let's make sure we focus on the things that we need to do to move the needle in our life. Guys, we don't want to leave anything on the table. We want to leave this place making sure we've done everything we needed to do and everything we wanted to do. And the good news is, guys, we can do that. If you plan properly and if you execute that plan, you can do it. You certainly can. Again, this is about, one, celebrating Kobe because I admired him so much. So for me, I had to say something. I had to use this platform and talk with you guys this morning about that. And I know it's going to be a while before it'll sink in for me. But I think this is good therapy. This is a reminder. Whether you believe in a God, whether you believe in a higher power, whatever you believe in, believe this. We all going to leave this place. And none of us know when we're going to leave. So my recommendation is, while you're here, reach your full potential. Do everything you can in order to put yourself in a position to be financially independent, financially free. Guys, Kobe was financially independent. This guy was a really, really smart business person. And unlike a lot of other athletes, he didn't make this money and squander it. He actually made this money and he preserved it. And he was helping others and giving away money because he had done so well. So, his financial acumen was extremely high. And he rubbed elbows with some of the most influential people, business people in this world. So I admired him for just that business savvy that he also possessed. And he shared with other people, and he encouraged other people to go after their athletic and their financial and their personal goals. So that was a big thing that I admired about him, and I will always admire about him. But again, back to us guys, we got to do what we need to do in order to make sure we do what we need to do. I don't know what happened with the helicopter situation. I'm sure we'll find out more about that as things come in, once they are able to go in and look at the wreckage and try to piece together what happened. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm not real concerned with that. I'm concerned with the families of these good people that perished in this horrible situation on this helicopter. That's what I'm most concerned about. I'm not real concerned about piecing together and what happened. I just want to make sure that we take time out, first of all, to acknowledge those people and hopefully have a moment of silence for them as their families try and deal with this horrible news. And also as we deal with it, because I know I'm a huge Kobe fan. And I know a lot of you guys are huge Kobe fans. So we also got to deal with it. I don't know Kobe. I've never met Kobe, but certainly, like I said, I know people who know him. And so I feel connected that way. And I know you guys have your own stories. So let's just make sure, guys, we take care of what we need to take care of. Let's live every day to the fullest. Let's reach our full potential every day. Let's make sure we plan properly. Let's make sure we execute that plan, and let's make sure we don't allow fear and procrastination to keep us from reaching our full potential. I see you guys have a lot of thoughts on this, and you should. I would say just continue doing what you need to do, guys. I mean, you really do need to do what you need to do as it relates to your personal and your financial life. And that way, the ones that you love are straight and taken care of. Make sure you set yourself up legal documentation. So if something were to happen to you, your family knows what to do. I know we don't like to talk about that, but you need to make sure you have a living will. You need to make sure you have some instructions on what should happen if something did happen to you. None of us want to think about that, but guess what, guys? It's going to happen at some point. And the smart people in this world, they do try and plan ahead. Although we all want to live to 100, the unfortunate news is we're not going to all live to 100. Some of us, our time will expire before we want it to. So let's do everything we can while we're here to accomplish the goals that we want to accomplish. Back to what I said earlier, my channel, guys, on YouTube is about helping people, helping people as it relates to and sharing my cars that I own. But it's more importantly about financial independence, helping people reach their financial independence. So I would encourage you guys to take time out today, have a little bit of a moment of silence for those 9 people, including Kobe Bryant and his daughter that passed away. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be thinking about those families all day today. And I'm going to also be thinking about, how can I be better? How can I make sure I'm living up to the potential that I have? Because we got to learn and get something out of this, guys. And I think what we learn and get out, at least for me, I can't think for you guys, but what I get out of it is just the competitor that Kobe Bryant was, the Black Mamba. I mean, that is just, whether you like the Lakers or not, when that young man was in his prime and playing at the highest possible level, there was nobody better. I think for me, he was the closest basketball player in the modern era to Michael Jordan. Kobe was the closest. Kobe most resembled him from a competitive and never quit. I mean, obviously Michael Jordan, in my opinion, was the greatest basketball player of all time. He's probably one of the greatest athletes of all time. But if you think about Kobe and what he did, a lot of people thought when Shaq left that Kobe would just be an ordinary player. A lot of people thought, okay, Shaq's gone, Kobe's going to be an ordinary player. But you know something? When Shaq left, Kobe stepped his game up, man, to a whole nother level and won 2 more NBA titles. Guys, I'm telling you, this young man was the epitome of excellence. I mean, you're talking about that quote unquote killer instinct. Man, Kobe had that killer instinct, man. And I admired that about him. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't a Laker fan. But I was a Kobe Bryant fan. I wasn't a Laker fan, but I was a Kobe Bryant fan. And I can remember when LeBron came in the league, Kobe was still the man. And how he, took LeBron under his wing and taught him some of the things to be the best you can be. And now look at LeBron. He took over that mantle when Kobe decided he would hang the sneakers up and go live the rest of his life. LeBron was already in a position to take the baton and continue this thing on. So sad day, to hear the news. But I know my faith and what I believe in is they are certainly not forgotten in spirit. They may not be here physically, but I think they're here in spirit. And blessings and prayers go out to those families again. And but guys, we have an opportunity to continue to do what we need to do. So please, make sure you're doing what you need to do in order to realize your dreams and your goals. Don't allow anything to stop you from doing that. If you got one thing from Kobe, again, he was just he was a professional, man. He was a person, a tactician. He was smart. He was competitive. He had a no quit attitude, but he also gave praise to other players when it was time to give praise to other players. I don't ever remember hearing an interview where he complained. He just went out and did it. He just went out and worked. And we can take something from that, guys. We can take that type of attitude and apply it to our life. We may not be high paid athletes, but what we can do is take control of our financial life and go in a way that's positive for us. That can't lose attitude, perseverance, hard work, dedication, being humble. That's a big thing also. I mean, on the court, Kobe was the best that can be. But I thought he was humble though. When I saw things about him on television and on the news, he seemed always humble to me. I never saw where he demanded excellence out of the guys around him. Don't get me wrong. And he would take the ball in his own hands and make sure the Lakers were in a position to win every game. And he wanted the ball. See, that's the difference, guys, between good players and great players. And I've mentioned this before in other videos. See, great players always want the ball in their hands. Always. Because they believe they're the key. Great players always want the ball in their hands. Good players, in a lot of cases, they don't necessarily want the ball in their hands. A lot of times, good players just will shy away. But these great players, think about it. Great players, great business people, the best of the best, they always want the ball or the situation in their hands in order to win the game, whether it be on the athletic field or whether it be in the game of life. And that's the way we need to think and we want to be. We should always want the ball in our hands. We want to always be the greatest we can be. And that's the thing that I really, really admired about Kobe. He was humble, but you always knew he wanted the ball in his hands. And that's the only other guy I can think of that was like that in the NBA in the modern era was Michael Jordan. Now LeBron is right there in line. But I think it's Michael, I think it's Kobe, and I think it's LeBron. Those are my top three in the modern era of basketball greats. Because all three of those players not only were they're the best in their sport, but I think they were also extremely intelligent men, extremely savvy business people. And if we want to model ourselves after anybody from the athletic world, then those three gentlemen, in my opinion, check all the boxes. They check it all. Well, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I just needed to get on here this morning and talk to y'all a little bit and give you my how I feel about this whole Kobe thing. I know it's a lot of stuff happening out there on television, on the news, and I wanted to get on and just share my thoughts, encourage you guys to continue working hard, man, and be the best you can be. I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to love on your family, man. For those of you that got families, love on them. And for those of you who don't have immediate families, go love on your friends, man. Pick up the phone this morning and call somebody and tell them you love them. Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to do that. And I'm going to check you guys out on the next video, man. Keep chasing your greatness. Peace.